87 here, and it is time to rank palettes. So I did this a couple of months ago, and I told y'all every couple of months I do it, and apparently y'all were interested in it because that video had a decent amount of views on it, so I figured I'd go ahead and do it again today because, as y'all know, I'm always buying hella palettes, so I always got hella palettes to like rank and review. So I figured we could go ahead and get started. So y'all know how I do it. I do luxury first. I do luxury and high-end together, then I do like more affordable palettes, and then I'll do like the indie brands last. So the indie's gonna come last, and we're gonna start with the luxury palettes. So at the very bottom, believe it or not, I have this Tom Ford quad. It's called Photosynthesis. Let me show you what it looks like. I like this palette. I think it was fine quality. It's just, I think, like, for its price that I didn't, it wasn't all that. So this is my color story. Of course, big surprise, right? There's a dual chrome blue brownish type situation going on in green, and then like some neutrals because people love to put neutrals in palettes. So like, it's kind of similar to the eye look I have on right now, but I didn't use this palette to make it. I actually used a new Artemis palette from Alter Ego that's supposed to be a dupe for the Metropolis palette. So anyway, this is what it looks like. I like it. I'm just not obsessed with it, and I feel like for the price I should be obsessed with it. And the quality wasn't, anything exceptional to the point where I feel like you should be able to charge $88 for 4 shades. Now, we both know I didn't pay $88 for this because, like, when it comes to quads and it comes to Tom Ford, unless I catch it on sale, I'm most likely not buying it just because I'm not a Tom Ford person. Like, I know he has his stands and all that, but it's like, I tried his lipstick. I thought that was overrated. I think this is overrated for the price. Like, I got a highlighter palette thing. I feel like it's overrated for the price. I feel like all his stuff is just overrated for the price that it is, in my personal opinion. So, that's why it's dead last. Second, I have, what is it? The Enchanted Mysteries palette from Linda Hallberg. I really like this palette, but like I told y'all before in the last video, like I saw some stuff that I didn't like, and then I heard some stuff that I just wasn't okay with. So like, I think I heard something about her saying the N-word or talking negative about black people, and I kind of got that vibe after the Black Lives Matter movement came up. And I told you all in that video as well that she had posted a picture talking about why she didn't speak up on the matter sooner and all that, and then she had turned off the comments, which I didn't think was cool, because like, if you're really about it and you really genuinely felt that way, I don't feel like you should have turned off your comments for that whole situation. So you won't be seeing her anymore. We're not buying nothing else from her, but since I had it and I told you I'd do it in the next video, I did. But that's pretty much my spiel on her. Like, yeah, no. Next, I have I'm gonna put the high-end ones mixed in with this too. So I probably should have put this next palette below it, but oh well, we're here now. So I have the She's and Party palette from Melt Cosmetics. Now, remember I told y'all I didn't plan on rushing out to get this, but if I could get it on sale, I would. So that's what happened. Melt had a sale on their website where it was $40, and then they had free shipping. So I ended up getting it. That's what she looks like, just in case y'all forgot, because I just did the video on this like last week, so I don't see how you would. But anyway, I like the quality of it. It's nice. It's just more of, I feel like it has a lot of smoky tones in it and not that many light tones in it. So if I want to do a lighter matte look, I couldn't necessarily get that done, and it's just kind of like, I mean, it's okay. It's just not a color story that I gravitate toward a lot, and when I do, I have other palettes I reach for to do it. So that's why, I have an indie palette that's really similar to it that you'll see later, but that's why it's kind of where it is. It should have been number 4 instead of number 3, but I just decided now that I want to put the high-end and luxury together, since the high-end only had 2 palettes this time. Next, I have the ABH and Norvina Mini Pro Pigment Palette Volume 3. I actually really like this palette. Like, the color story of this is gorgeous. Like, can't y'all tell this is up my alley? The blues and the greens. And then I thought it was cool that they added some pops of red to it to go with the little cherries or whatever. It's a really, really, really nice palette, and I am definitely here for it. I didn't realize that this was a pressed glitter to, like, I think somebody else pointed out that it was a pressed glitter too, because it still doesn't feel like a pressed glitter to me, which actually is impressive. So I really like this little palette. I want to do some more looks with this little palette, but as y'all know, I have a million palettes, so it's like I don't necessarily have time to always do that. But I definitely am here for that palette. And the last palettes I have, I bought like, I think in March or in May, and you're just seeing them now, but I've done like 2 or 3 looks with them already because I like them that much. This is the Viseart Grande Pro Volume 3 and the Viseart Koi palette. I love to use these in conjunction together because if you all didn't know, I'll open this up. It's an all matte palette. My girl Alicia actually tagged me in this when it first came out, but then I saw it was $175, and I was like, oh, no, $175, oh no. So, yeah, but this is what it looks like. I think it's gorgeous. And I'm glad I caught on a deal I did at Beautylish. So, I got it. And, you know, there you go. And I'm happy with it. And this koi palette, see, I wasn't happy with their shimmers the first time I tried them in one of the smaller palettes, but they say the smaller palettes are the same. I personally feel like the formula is not the same on the smaller ones as it is on the bigger ones. I can tell the difference, but the shimmers in this are absolutely beautiful. But the thing with Viseart palettes, I feel like I noticed, is you have to use natural hair brushes. If you don't use a natural hair brush, I feel like it doesn't pick up as nice or as well as it would if you used you know, a synthetic hair brush. So with them, that's just the kind of thing you have to keep in mind. So next I'm going to do the affordable ones, and then we'll end it off with the indie brands. So I actually got a lot of BH Cosmetics this month. I don't know why, because I was talking a whole bunch of crap about how they don't have anybody who looks like me working for them, and I still stand by all of what I said. Not cool at all. But you all seem to be really liking the BH Cosmetics train, and they have been getting better over the years. Like in the past, I remember when I first tried them, they were just okay compared to the way they are now. So I'm gonna get into the palettes that I tried this month from them, and because it's mainly BH. I think it's like one elf palette in here, and you'll see where that place is in a minute. But I'm gonna start off with the Summer in Saint Tropez. Now I remember what's the girl's name, Morgan Turner, was talking about how this was such a wonderful palette, and it's actually 50% off on their website right now, as well as Ulta. So if you want to get your hands on it, you should go ahead and try it if this is your type of color story. The color story to me is just okay, and the I guess that's why it's at the bottom of this list, because there are other color stories that you're going to see in a minute from them that I like better. It's not the quality of the palette is bad, it's just the color story isn't anything to write home about or super exciting or inspiring to me. I literally only got it because Morgan Turner was raving about it, and it was like $8. And I got one for the giveaway coming up this month too, so stay tuned for that. But it actually just shipped from Ulta today. But anyway, I like the palette okay. I'm just not obsessed or in love or enraptured with it, you know what I'm saying? Like, the formula's nice, but, you know, and the price was amazing, so that's why I got it, but I wouldn't have bought it at full price because it just wasn't speaking to me. Next, I have Trendy in Tokyo. Now, this one did speak to me when I first saw it. I was like, ooh, okay, hello. And I feel like y'all know why, because it's just like a nice little rainbow. The only colors I don't really care about is like the orange. So if these two oranges weren't here, I'd be fine. But overall, the color story is nice. I feel like this was a little difficult to work with, though, compared to other colorful shadows I have, which is why it's lower on the list, because it's not like I don't love the color story. It's just if it's difficult to work with or more difficult to work with than the other palettes I already have, then, you know, it's not going to be higher up because it's not as good as those other palettes I already have. But it's a nice color story. If you don't mind working with it a little bit, and you can catch it on sale, then get it. I wouldn't say pay the $16 for it, though, because I definitely don't feel like it's worth that. I didn't pay $16 for it. I think I caught it on sale for like $10 or something like that. And then, you know, also always has coupons, so I used the coupon with it and got it at a pretty decent deal. So the color story is nice. I just don't think the formula is as good as other colorful palettes I own, which is why it is number 4, I guess. Wait, no, it's lower than that. I haven't counted all these palettes over here, so I'm not sure. Next, I had the BH Cosmetics Mimosa palette from the Weekend Vibes collection. So the color story of this is nice. It's just more of, I'm not really big on pinks, if you all haven't noticed, and if I do use pinks, I usually like pair them with purples, or I'm using them for like a Valentine's Day look or something. I don't just gravitate toward using pink. We all know my colors. Say it with me now: blue, purple, and green. And I have blue and green on my list right now, which tells you a lot. So the color story is okay. The formula of this one I feel like is better than the Trending in Tokyo one, and it's just a little easier to work with, and the color story is nice, so that's why it's where it is. But next I have the Weekend Vibes Avocado Toast palette. Now I feel like you all already knew this one was going to be higher than the pink one, because at the end of the day it is what? Say it with me. A lovely green palette, and I just said that we like blue, greens, and purples here. So this one is really nice because you have your darker greens for when you want to do the smoky looks like I do. Then you have like the more mid-tone ones, and then you have like lighter ones. And then if you want to do a little bit of a more neutral tone, you can just use those little section right here if you're lighter. Obviously, I'm not using those damn shades because they're not working for me. I'd have to do it all over like matte lid type situation. I have to be in the mood for that, and when I am, it's usually like not a color like that because I don't feel like those go that great with my skin tone. So I mean, in lipstick form, they're fine, but I feel like I need to have a colorful pop on the eye, not be totally washed out and muted out by having this on the lid and then my lips matching. So overall, the palette works for me just because it's a whole bunch of green, smoky situation, but you know, there's some other palettes I liked a little bit better, obviously, or else it would be higher up. So the stack would stay. Thank you. Okay, so next I have the Elf. What is this? Retro Paradise palette. That's it. Yeah, the Retro Paradise palette. I was actually shocked by this palette. Shout out to my girl. It's It's Glam XO Beauty. She is the one who convinced me to buy this, because I was looking at it and I was like, ooh, that color story is nice, but I was like, Elf ain't known for shadows, honey. Them shadows is just a mess. And it's like, I know the ones in these palettes in particular, because I hate the Opposites Attract one, and the 18-1 is the one I bought. So I was like, I don't know how it's gonna be in this one. Like, we all know the bite-sized shadows were fine, but like this one, I was just like, But she said she tried it and it wasn't the same formula as that palette, because otherwise I wouldn't have bought this. And she was right, the formula in this is way better than the one in the older palettes. Like, I didn't like the Opposites Attract or the 18 Wonders palette, but I definitely like the formula in this one and recommend it. Now, you do have to work with this one a little bit. I'm not even on front, you do, but it's definitely worth it, because you all said you really liked my eye look, and I really liked it okay too for like your neutrally look. I think I've done a more like purpley look as well. I don't remember. If I did, it most likely went up on IGTV, but it's a really nice palette for, you know, what it is. And I've used it, I think, about 2 or 3 times, which is a big deal, because I have a lot of palettes, and you know, the fact that I went back to use that one a couple more times, you know, speaks pretty good volumes to me. So the last ones, I feel like you all should know which ones are number 1 this time in the affordable category, just because they just recently came out, and it is the BH Cosmetics Sweet Shop set. So I have Cherry on top. Let me put them down, because I'm trying to hold all in the ones. Cherry on top. This is actually the only reddish tone palette I own. I got rid of the main squeeze palette just because I didn't like the formula of it and the shade selection that much. I really like the shade selection and formula of this one, and I feel like I can actually use every shade in here. Like this one, I can dust on top of other shades, and all these other shades actually work for someone my skin tone. So bravo on that, because a lot of times they put those shades in there, and y'all already know them, so I'm not gonna get into the bitching and complaining about it. But a lot of times they pick shades that I can't use, and I'm just like, so fuck am I supposed to do with this? Because just decide I need these 2 shades when I don't. That's what I appreciate about Sydney Grace Co. They like make 2 different palettes. They make a lighter one, and then they make one for people like my skin tone. I guess they heard people like me complaining about it, or maybe they're just trying to be innovative, different. I don't know. Either way, I appreciate it, so shout out to you. And they'll be in this video a little bit later, so just stay tuned. Next, we have the Cotton Candy palette. I really like the color story of this too, because it gives you a nice little pink and purple mixture, as opposed to you know, just being like a pink palette or a purple palette. I like having a nice little combination of these, because I can do a nice little combined look, and I don't have to go like I would with the ColourPop one, when I have to go grab the Ooh La La palette and then go grab the It's My Precious palette just to put a look together. They're together in the palette already. Next, I have the bubblegum one, and I feel like y'all know I was gonna get the bubblegum one, because look at this. Well, how was I not gonna own this? And I like all the shades in here too. Again, this one I can dust over the rest of these and make them work. So I appreciate the way they put the colors they picked to put in the palette, because I feel like they're still useful to me. Like, I could put this all over the lid if I wanted to, and have a nice little light blue powdery donut situation going on with these in the corner or something like that. So I definitely appreciate the way their color stories are set up, as opposed to some other brands who would have just put like a cream color that, you know, only the majority could use, and us minorities, we just have to figure it out as usual. The last one I have is the Pistachio palette, and the funny thing is, again, they don't have anyone black working for them, so how they determined to do that, I don't know, because it wasn't like anybody around them was like my tone, like, hey, you know, you should do this instead of that. So, but this is the Pistachio palette. This actually is one of my least favorite ones. It's like, I don't like this one as much as I like my Just My Luck palette, but I combine my Just My Luck and Meant to Be palette by ColourPop. I remember saying that in the video. I'll try to remember to link it up here. But yeah, I like this one probably less than I do all the other ones, which is a shock to me, because y'all know I love me some blues and some greens. Okay, so we're gonna get into the last category now, which is my indie brand, and I feel like this video is shorter than the other one I did last time, which I don't understand. Yeah, so we're gonna start from the bottom and go to the top. So my number 5 is the Kaleidos Escape Pod palette. Now, I've said this once, if I've said it a million times, like, I don't know what it is. It's like, I try to like this brand, and it's like, it's not like they don't have good things. It's just like I'm not overwhelmed and taken away with them like everyone else is. When everybody be talking about how the quality is so wonderful and so great. I mean, it's nice quality, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that it's crap by any means. It's just, I don't know. I feel like they're just overrated, and I don't get why. Because it's like, I like their stuff, but I'm never really truly in love with like anything. It's like only one palette that I truly love by them, and it's going to be at the top of this video at the end. But the palette's nice. It's okay. Like, I wouldn't, what do you call it? I wouldn't write home about it, I guess, or I wouldn't be, you know, crazy about getting it, other than like to put my review up like I did. But I wouldn't have rushed out to get that. Like, I'd have waited to see if they were gonna have a bundle sale or a discount or something like that when I bought it, because it just, I don't know, it's just okay to me. It's not exceptional. Like, I don't like the fact that it had those 2 purples in there and then like the 2 greens, and I heard a lot of other people saying that too, so it's not like it's just me. I don't know. It's just an okay palette to me. It's not exceptional. One I do really like though is the Summer Vibes palette by Give Me Glow. If y'all don't know, I'm a Give Me Glow stan over here. They are one of my all-time favorite indie brands, Give Me Glow. So this is the Summer Vibes palette. They reformulated it because Karen Harris said she had an older version and it wasn't necessarily as what do you call it? Its formula wasn't the same. It's different, and she said this formula is better than the original one. So I guess I should be glad I didn't buy the original one. But y'all know I'm not really a warm tone type of girl, so that's why I didn't buy the original one. And I like the fact that this palette has all colors that I can wear in it. Like this lighter shade, I can still dust over other stuff. So I like palettes where they like do have lighter shades in it for other people, but you know, still understand that everybody can't use the lightest shade. I mean, they did that in the palette I'm gonna talk about next, but starting off, I think they had a good color palette and concept. I did a video with this against the Nail Cosmetics Vita palette if anybody's interested, so I'll try to remember like that above too. I promise nothing though, because y'all know I'll forget and just put whatever the newest video is up there instead of like actually going back and grabbing the clips like I'm supposed to. So my bad in advance, because I'm probably not gonna remember to do it, and I'm not even gonna pretend like I'm a guarantee to. That's why I'm saying sorry in advance. All right, so the next one I have is their latest palette. This is the Extra Spicy palette. Now I'm with Karen Harris and a lot of other people on this. I'm kind of disappointed in this palette just as far as color story goes, because it's like they usually have innovative and cool ideas that they come out with, and to me this is so like a while ago, like Natasha Denona Sunrise Sunset palette, like Yes Please by ColourPop, and that was like their first eyeshadow palette. So it's like I feel like y'all dug back in the crates to come up with this color story, and it's like it's okay, you know, I still bought it clearly, so it's okay, but it's just kind of like, you know, I feel like they could have did so much more. Like, where's the green for the like stem or whatever? But they've done green in their last 2 palettes, so I'm assuming that's why they didn't put a green in this one too, because they didn't want it to be like outrageous. But they could have get like a bright, fun poppy green, or like a green to match the stem of the jalapeno pepper that's, you know, all over the palette or something. Like, I feel like there just should have been a green in here. I don't even care if they had just put a green shimmer in there just for you to put in the inner corner. Like, get rid of this shade and put a green shimmer in there for the inner corner. Or maybe get rid of one of these shades and put it in it. Like this 24 karat wing shade. Y'all could have got rid of that and put in a shimmery green instead. So that's my only complaint with this palette. It's like, where's the green for the stem of this pepper? I just want to know. But otherwise, the quality is fine as it always is. I just want my one green shade I feel is missing. I honestly feel like buying just a shimmery green shade from them, like that limeade shade or something, and just popping out this one or like ghost pepper and just putting it in there just so it'll be the palette that I want it to be. Or maybe I just take mild out. I don't know. But I think I'm actually going to do that now that I have encouraged myself to do so. But yeah. So that one is number 3. So number 2, we have the City Graceco Mystery Bag. It was the Warm Deep bundle, and this is just a whole bunch of peachy shades along with a peachy blush. Now the blush to me is quite shimmery, and it gives you like orgasm type vibes. If orgasm was a little darker, I guess. I don't remember. I haven't used orgasm in forever. I think I have it like in my traveling makeup bag because I got a travel size of it for being a Rouge member one year or something like that. But I actually really like the color story of this. I like it better than the Sweet Peach palette from Too Faced, because I feel like the tones didn't work better for some of my skin tone. But again, they do the warm, deep, and then they do the I guess it's light medium, and then they do the deep. So I appreciate this, and their shadows are actually really nice. I actually just bought Mel Thompson's the Tiny Marvels palette, so we'll be doing some more Sydney Grace Code here soon. And if I like what I see and they come out with some more palettes, I'll do it. I just hate buying singles because it's like I don't ever really use a single, so I feel like I'm just kind of wasting money. I'm gonna put these in with my singles in my Book of Shadows palette from what's that brand, Colored Rain. They actually have that palette on sale right now for 21 bucks, so I definitely have it in my cart. But I'm thinking about buying it for the giveaway, not necessarily for myself, because my single shadow thing isn't full, if you all remember when I posted it on IG like a couple of weeks ago. So the number one palette, believe it or not, is a Kaleidos palette. It is the Futurism 3 Astro Pink palette. This is the one palette that I really think knocked it out of the park for them as far as it goes for me. Like, the color story of this is just beautiful. Now, I don't understand the random shimmery ass black, because it's like, if this is a matte black, I could get down with a little bit more. But the fact that it's shimmery irritates me. Otherwise, this palette is perfect. Like, I love this tone and this tone. I can dust this one over the top. I mean, this one serves no purpose to me, but, you know, like, I'm so used to palettes having that. And, again, I'm trying not to get on that soapbox, so we're going to move on from that. But those are my only two complaints about this palette. Otherwise, I feel like this palette is beautiful and works perfectly. And this is my favorite Futurism palette. The funny thing is, when I first saw it, I was like, I was going to put this in my bundle, but I ended up getting the Futurism 5 instead, and I absolutely hated that palette. Like, the orange in there didn't work for me, like, at all. And then the blues in there, they were mediocre compared to, like, all the other blues I own, because as we know, I love blues, so I have plenty of them. So it was just kind of like, oh, okay, I don't really need this. Moving on. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed me ranking all of these palettes that I bought. I already have 5 million more palettes coming in, and I have 2 that I literally just did videos on last week, which is why they're not in here. That would be the Scott Barnes Color Bomb palette. He had a 30% off sale on his website, so I went ahead and bought it then. And then there was the Odin's Eye palette that I bought, so I'll try to remember to link that one up above too. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, y'all are diamonds. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.